Phillies and Colts, I welcome you to another edition of Pony Fanfic. Well, I can't actually say this is a fan fiction. They say here it's called an experience. My friend and plus Equestria Daily is called it an experience, not a fanfic. Anyways, I'm here with John, and this is going to be a very blind read. This is called The Spiders. I think that's how it's called. Spiders by Argambarger. I don't know how to pronounce his name, sorry. Anyways, let's begin and read along if you like. Yeah, and it's also, they say it's a troll fic. Oh boy. Anyways, it was a beautiful spring day in Equestria when Twilight Sparkle was in her study where she lived. "Spike," she said. "Come here, Spike." And Spike came over to her. "What do you want, Twilight?" Spike said, and Twilight said, "Spike, I need you to get me a book of magic." "Okay," Spike said, "I will get it for you." And he went over to the bookshelf to get the book for Twilight Sparkle. It was a dusty book, and Spike almost sneezed, but he didn't. He gave the book to Twilight, and then she said, "Thank you, Spike. Go away now." Spike said, "Okay, I will go away," and he slided away like a dragon. Well, Twilight opened the book. Yes, this is book, P-O-O-K. To chapter 5, and it says, "Okay, magic, please happen," and the magic began happening in her horn, and she did the spell. It was a magic spell, and she knew that it was magic, which is why she casted it, because her cutie mark is magic, because she is a unicorn. The spell made everything bigger and an 8. What? Why is everything bigger and 8? Twilight said. "Oh, it is because I am a spider now." Spider Twilight went up to the bookshelves to find a fix spell to fix the spell, but she couldn't open the books or even grab them because she was a spider and not a unicorn, and her horn was gone, and also she did not have a voice that could speak loud enough for Spike to hear and go get her a book for her, and even if she did, probably wouldn't want to, because Spike would see her as a spider and maybe get scared or angry and stomp all over her, which would make her dead spider. Twilight, and that is bad. What the hell is this?
She's a spider, and yeah. There's a flash from someone reading this.
And then she heard a voice, well, not really a voice, but it sounded like another spider. She could understand the spider clicks, and she knew that it was a spider, so she had to go and talk to this other spider, because that is what spiders do, talk to other spiders. A red spider appeared and said, "Hello, Twilight. I am Big Mac Spider now." "Why?" And Twilight Spider said, "Big Mac Spider? Is it because I cast the spell that went wrong?" And Big Red Mac Spider said, "Okay, well, maybe you can fix it." And Twilight said, "Oh, okay," said the red spider. "Well, if we are going to be spiders forever, let's have spider sex." And Twilight Spider said, "Okay, but I don't know how to have spider sex." And Big Spider Red said, "It is probably easy. Are you okay with this? I am asking permission to have spider sex with you." Twilight said, "I don't know. Spiders are creepy and weird." And then Big Mac said, "Twilight, we are spiders." And then Twilight said, "You have a point. Okay, I guess we have to make the most of it, right?" And then Big Mac said, said, "That is the spirit. Okay, yeah, yes, okay, spider sex." They started to have spider sex, and it felt really weird for Twilight, but Twilight never had a normal regular pony sex, so spider sex was the weirdest, most strange thing ever. It was like a crunchy potato chip bag full of chips got thrown into a chain link fence, and I don't know where this metaphor goes going anymore. Oh my god. After the spider sex, Twilight felt funny on the inside, like something real, not normal. Big Mac Spider said, "It is okay, Twilight Spider, if I live here with you so we can have more spider sex." And Twilight said, "I don't know, I guess so, but I don't want to have spider sex for a while. That was weird." And Big Mac Spider Red said, "This is okay, I will wait for you to be ready because I am a gentle spider." And Twilight said, I appreciate it." Chapter 2, Spiders. There was a living like that for a while where they lived together, and they had some spider sex sometimes, but only when Twilight felt extra sorry for Big Mac. Spike was downstairs carrying lots. What is that? Logs because he didn't know where Twilight went to, and Twilight wanted to go make Spike feel less sad, but she was a spider and couldn't talk. Twilight's belly got bigger and bigger, and she didn't know what was happening. And then the Spider Mac Red Big said, I think you might be getting ready to have spider babies. And then Twilight said, what? And Big Mac said, yup. Except he couldn't actually make that word sound because he was a spider and doesn't have pony voice boxes anymore. Twilight was real sad and upset because spider babies were gross and creepy and weird, and she cried a little bit. But Big Mac Red Spider gave her the biggest, most happy hug ever, and said, I always wanted to be a daddy, even though I didn't want to be a spider daddy. I will try to be the best spider daddy ever and be here for you all the times, and okay? And Twilight felt the most happy, but still wasn't not happy at the same time. Then one day Twilight had to lay spider eggs, and it was the most strangest. It felt like a bubble wrap bubbles being pooped out. And then she was sad and upset again, but Big Mac Spider was there the whole time and made her comfort. She brought her spider food, which was bugs, and Twilight was finally okay with eating bugs with Spider Big Mac's help. She knew she had to eat them to be alive, and being alive was more good than eating bugs was bad, so she did it, and was sad and upset because the bugs were gross, but it was okay because she has a life. She has a life. Big Mac Spider helped her guard the eggs for many days, until one day the eggs were very big and had dark things moving around inside of them, and Twilight knew that they were her babies. And she was kind of happy and a little bit, and Big Mac was happy because she was happy, and she was even happier because Big Mac was happy, but they didn't have spider sex because Big Mac knew how much Twilight didn't like that because it felt weird, and also she didn't want to have more babies, and neither did he really. But he was ready to be the best spider daddy so that Twilight didn't have to worry. After a few more days, the eggs started moving, and they knew that the eggs were going to hatch because Twilight was smart and she knew all about eggs. They watched the egg pile of eggs move around, and then they heard a little baby spider clicks, and they knew that that was the baby spiders, and they watched even more much. What? The eggs hatched simultaneously, and vast multitudes of tiny spiderlings swarmed out in a screeching horde. Twilight and Big Mac started to scuttle away as quickly as they could, but they soon found out that they were no real danger. The spiderlings had no intention of killing their parents. They witnessed a solid black mass of itchy, screaming death cover every surface of the library. Millions of spiders continued to swarm out of the eggs. The flood seemed to be endless. Spike lay curled up in his little dragon bed, moping. Things haven't been the same since Twice's disappearance. Then it had been over a week since he had any decent ideas about what to do about it. He was depressed and miserable. Suddenly, he heard a scratching, high-pitched noise coming from upstairs. His curiosity overcame his melancholy, and he plodded up to investigate. He was intercepted by a solid wall of spiderlings, pouring down the stairwell, which overwhelmed him almost instantly. Spike had just enough presence of mind to scream, but doing so did nothing but allow the swarm of spiders to access his lungs and stomach. Spiderlings drained his fluids for sustenance, and Spike died in horror, terror, and agony. Jesus Christ. Chapter 3, Spider Day. A lift of spiders roomed away from Twilight and the big red spider Mac, and they didn't know what to do because there were so many spiders of the eggs. Big Mac said, "Hey, you spider babies, you're my spider babies, now listen to me." But the spider babies didn't listen because they were making too much noise, but they would have listened if they could have became Mac Spider because they're daddy and they loved them, and they remind me Twilight more than any of the bugs, even the juicy ones. Big Mac Spider said to Twilight Spider, "I'm so sorry, I am the worst spider daddy, even though I promised I was going to be the best one even." Twilight felt really bad and sorry for Big Mac's spider because she knew that he tried his best, but if there were an biggest problem happening, she would give him the hugs. Twilight thought hardest with having ideas, and then had one idea. Spider Big, come here and help me, okay? And Spider-Man said, alright, what do you want me to do, Twilight? And Twilight said, I need you to throw me to the spiders. And Red Mac said, are you sure? You thought spiders were creepy and weird. And Twilight said, I know, but I need to do this, okay, because Big Mac, we are spiders. And Big Mac said, okay. Big Mac picked her up by her legs with his legs, and they were at the spider babies. She screamed a little bit, but not really, because she was trying to be brave, like Rainbow Dash would be brave if she was a spider and flying at the spider babies. Then finally, after falling for the time, she landed, and there's spider babies, and they didn't know that she was their mom because they were still just babies and crawling. And Twilight Spider tried to click at them to stop, but they didn't know what to do because babies are confused. Big Mac watched all the babies carry Twilight away, and he felt the most terrible and sad, and said, it is my fault that Twilight is being carried away by spider babies because I was the one who had spider sex with her, and she made babies because I had to rescue her, he said. And we'll continue this in part 2.